Okay, so I've had a lot of requests for a channel, and I don't really know what constitutes a channel in terms of content, and I feel like I don't really actually have any content to share, but I keep being asked. So I thought, well, okay, if people think that I have something to share, I guess I can try to share. I have no idea if this is going to be like one or I'm going to like it and somehow people are going to respond in a positive way and all of a sudden I'm going to be a content creator. I don't know. But anyway, what I what I do know is I like showing people my flip throughs because I'm proud of what I've done and it makes me feel good that people can experience it, and given all the work that I put forward. So I figured I could just do that, and then I don't know, maybe I'll never do one again, who knows. But it's not like I don't have a ton going on in my life to all of a sudden decide at 50 that I'm gonna be an internet star. But my daughter's like, you need a channel. So there you go. This is me. I'm trying to create a channel, and I'm about to open a ginger ale, which I wish was an actual beverage, but it's only like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or it would be a beverage. So I was kind of thinking through like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And I think thinking about it in terms of when I was first starting, I would have liked the basics to explain like paper and like printing and like really basic stuff that I think people take for granted, and then show the progression of starting a book. So I thought before even getting into that, I would show my progression of what I've done from my very first junk journal, which is here, to my last junk journal, which is here. This I finished, I think, last month. And I did it, I've done a flip through, flip through. So it's out there. But I just want to point out, okay, so you can see the difference. This is my first one, this is my last one. I could be controlled, and my first one, clearly, it shuts nice, it's not huge. This one, all of a sudden, like, I'm a nut, and I can't stop putting stuff in it. So I think this is gonna be what it's like going forward, sadly, even though I like this one better because it's just more manageable and whatnot. But I thought I'd start here. And like I said, I'm in the process of just starting a brand new journal. So I'm going to tape, I said tape, which is like from 1990. I also still say I'm going to tape that show on TV. I am old. I don't know what else. I'm old. I will never stop saying tape. I don't know. But I thought I'd kind of start with my very first one because I love it. And even though my style has changed a lot since I created it, it's still my first one. And we still use it personally. We spend the summers down the Cape, and we still use it at the Cape Cottage. So I will say, when I first started to get into junk journaling, and I think probably a lot of you can relate to this, I didn't know what I was supposed to do with them. So I knew that I loved creating them, and I knew that they were really cool, and the stuff inside, like all this like vintage stuff, and I loved, but like, what do you actually do with the thing? So you create it, you can give it as gifts, and people love it, certainly, like there's no doubt about that. It's kind of like there's a wow factor to it because you've clearly spent 867 hours creating this book, and you know, people go crazy for it, but like, what do you actually use it for? It's unclear to me still. But this is what I know. I love doing it. And so like, if there's no purpose at all, I think that's an okay answer. If nobody ever looks at the freaking thing again, I have taken such pride, and it calms me down. I mean, it's relaxation for me. So if I spend $300 on this stuff for a book, and I spend, you know, I don't know, a ridiculous amount of time creating the book, if nobody ever looks at it, which would be sad, but if nobody ever looks at it and nobody buys it, certainly I'm not selling them really, I'll still have had all of that satisfaction that I did it and that I enjoyed every second of it. So that's my thought. Like, does it matter what the end result actually, the use is? Everyone can have a different use. But I believe that because my sister, as an example, whenever I talk about doing this, she's like mocks me because that's what sisters do. And she's like, what are you going to do with the book? I don't have a good answer. A table book, a coffee table book, that's my only good answer. However, my first one, which was a Cape Cod theme or an ocean theme, I do have a really good answer for, and that we use it. I'm gonna put the camera down in a second, but while I'm talking, I thought I'd keep it up. We use it down the Cape when people come to visit us, and I have everybody sign. So when they visit us, they jot a little memory down of their time with us, and I love that idea because my daughter will have it when she's older. She'll probably never look at it because she has not one sentimental bone in her body right now, but she's a teen, so like that doesn't count yet. She hasn't turned into a real person yet. I'm hoping it happens soon. But so this is a really good use of the book, I think. You know, it's a good end result. And this one in particular, this is all the stuff in it is ocean themed, but it's also, there's a lot of stuff from our area where our cottage is located, and so it's got sentimental value. And the only thing I haven't done yet, which I will do, this skill came later in my junk journal journey, so I haven't gone back to this book yet. But in later books, I started to take new pictures and sort of tatter them up in Photoshop and make them look old, and then place them in the books for whoever I'm giving the book to. So they have actual current photos, but they're made to look really vintage and old. So in the theme of almost every book I make is like vintage. I say that word so many times that I'm sick of myself saying it. But so I haven't gone back on my own book and done that, but I will. I'll put pictures of my family, my daughter, myself, my pets, and our visitors, all that. But I haven't done that yet. But if you can see, like, even the, I can't do this, you know, I'm backwards, but even the map, that's of our town. So I really love this book. Like I said, my styles changed a bit, and some of the illustrations, although beautiful, and I was so excited when I first purchased them. I'll put a link to all the stuff that I used, or at least that I can remember, that I used in the book. But even that's changed just through the evolution of just me creating these journals. My use of color and my love for creating paper that looks vintage and old, that's all just evolved. So you can see a significant difference even in my last one. But I will show you this one just so you can have a baseline. And then I'm not going to set any kind of expectation in terms of a schedule for me to put these videos up. First, I have to just see, is anyone going to watch these books? I don't even know. Like, why would anyone watch me? I'm unclear. Except that potentially I have funny things that we can all relate to in terms of being a single mother and having a teenager and trying to fit in time for this craft that I love. I genuinely love. I wish that there was a way to actually make money doing it. Somewhere out there, probably someone is going to say they have. That's hard for me to personally believe about myself because I put so much time and energy into these, and all of the dollar here, dollar there, printables that I download, and I never even use half of them. They add up to a significant amount of money per book. So I don't, nobody in my life anyway would spend the amount of money that they need to for me to actually make a profit, which who cares, because I love doing it. So it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna put the camera down and show you, kind of walk you through a regular flip through of this book, and then we'll kind of make a plan for what I'm gonna do next. I don't know. But here goes. Let's see. I think you can see that. I think. So I very much wanted this one. Well, first of all, I hadn't got to the point yet where I'm at now, where I want the journals to tell a story. You know, so you'll see if you look through my Alice in Wonderland flip through, you'll see that I did a story of the author of Alice in Wonderland. With this, my first journal, I hadn't got there yet. So there's really not much of that. I could envision now, if I created this book, I would have found a famous captain that was, historically linked to our area. And I would have put that spin on here. And maybe I'll try to weave that in at some point. But that's, one off the top of my head, that's one change that I know has evolved as I've gotten, more entrenched in junk journaling. For this, it was really just more, I wanted it to be ocean themed. I wanted it to have a fishing type feel because my daughter loves fishing. And I wanted it to be indicative of our area of the Cape. Just for sentimental reasons. So a lot of the stuff in this book, not all, is from Linda Israel, and I'll link to her page. She was the very first content creator that I watched and was very inspired by. She has partnered with Calico Creations, I believe it's called. So you'll see, I can't remember if this paper is from them, but like these are all from Calico Creations. And I think she's changed her name now too, but I'll link all this. But I found these wonderful sort of flips and ephemera for postcards that were all specific ocean themed or Cape themed. Some wonderful paper, some tuck spots with lighthouses and such. I became very, very fond of letter writing and making envelopes that looked vintage, and creating or finding documents and information that will be, my dog's